there is nothing wrong with climbing with a duo queue partner. Now, I think there are two players in League of Legends, people who want to get to a rank that they have as a goal, let's say Diamond, on their own, and then people who don't really mind how they get there as long as they get there. And there's no right or wrong answer here, but if you're someone who is okay with understanding that duo queuing isn't going anywhere, duo queuing is a legitimate way to climb, and duo queuing works for you, so you've got a good duo queue partner, which we'll get into a little bit later, please abuse it, because one, it's not going anywhere. Riot is not going to remove duo queuing. Obviously, in higher elos, it gets to a point where you can't duo queue anymore. But for the 99.95% of players, duo queuing is always going to be there as a legitimate source of climbing. So if you're out there going, man, I duo queue a lot, but I feel like I feel like it's cheating. Don't worry about it. It's not cheating. It's a legitimate way to climb. And as long as you feel okay with it, please continue to do it. Now, finding a duo queue partner is sometimes the tricky part. So a lot of people are probably going, yeah, I've got a duo queue partner. It's my mate from high school or from school or uni or whatever, and they're absolutely shit at the game. And then that's a whole nother problem. So I like to say that there's kind of three ways to find a duo queue partner. First one is friend groups. So people you currently play with outside of League of Legends or hang out with outside of League of Legends, whether you go to work with them, study with them, or you're just a friend with them, family, friends, whatever. That's the first one. And the problem with these ones is there's usually an emotional connection. So it's hard to say no to them when they want to climb. And so for these people, if you're one of those people who can't say no to a friend who's not as good as you or who is toxic or is tilted, make an alt account or only play with them in flex queue. So don't let your solo queue rank get affected by them duo queuing with you. So that's the first one. Second one is online. So literally in game. If you're playing a game and you have a really good player on your team and they played really well and they were positive and it looked like they really knew what they were doing, go check their match history, see if it was a one-off or, see if it was just a lucky game. But check their match history, see if they're a good player, and then add them after the game. There's no shame in adding someone after a game and saying, hey man, GG, well played, even inflate their ego, say like, thanks for carrying that game, you were awesome, and then go, hey, do you want a duo queue? You've got nothing to lose. At the end of the day, they'll either say yes or no, and then you just delete them off your friends list if they say no, but then you have a potential partner to climb for at least the rest of the day, so you could get an additional 2 or 3 games, but then you could make a friendship for, life, theoretically, a virtual friendship. So I think that's the second way. You just got to make sure that they're a good player. So that's why I'd always recommend checking their match history and make sure they're not toxic or tilting. So make sure they don't type too much in chat. Make sure they don't flame or abuse or say, other people are shit, put other people down, because that's a warning sign. Now, the third way to find a duo queue partner is through forums. So Discord, Reddit, Facebook groups, all these kind of groups where League of Legends players aggregate outside of the game. A really good way to find duo queue partners. The only problem with this is you haven't really seen them, so you haven't experienced their gameplay. So again, I'd recommend checking their match history, but also, if it's on a Discord server, ask the owner of the server, hey, I want to duo queue with this guy. Do you know if he's any good, or what would you say? Like, do you think I should duo queue with him, etc., etc.? And that's a good way. So I'm going to wrap this up, but basically, do not be afraid or do not be ashamed to duo queue, because it is a legitimate way to climb in League of Legends. It's not going anywhere, and it's a really good way to keep your mental fortitude and well-being up, because you have one less player on your team that can increase those chances of coin flipping. So you reduce the chances of coin flipping as long as you choose the right duo queue partner for you when you're climbing in League of Legends.